Hey everyone, it's your podcast leader, DK. Got a very special episode for you here. Got a call in from the old friend Mark Normand as he's driving across country, so the audio is a little shaky. But he's got some upcoming dates at the local Acme Comedy Club here in Minneapolis, October 23rd through the 26th. A couple shows each night. A couple are sold out, but there are tickets still available, so you're going to want to call and jump on that over at Acme Comedy Club. You can also have some dinner there at the Sticks Restaurant. Acme Comedy Club, one of the best comedy venues in the country. I've seen enough to know that this is definitely a place where you want to see a show. Give them a call, 612-338-6393, and tell them you heard about it on the DK Project. Again, Mark Normand, October 23rd to the 26th, Acme Comedy Club. Let's get this thing started.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you about this podcast. It's called The DK Project, but it's really The Darren Show. So thanks for tuning in. You're going to want to sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride.
Let's go!
Hey, comedy, huh? All right, good to be here. Sorry, a little hungover. Went out last night with a friend. He's like a beer expert, you know, one of these guys like, we gotta go to a brewery. I'm like, why can't we just go to a bar? He's like, it's fun. You can see how it's made. I don't care how it's made. Look, I like porn. I don't need to go to a broken home. Not saying all porns are a broken home, just the ones I like. Yeah, my friend's a gay guy. He's obsessed with straight dudes. That's like his thing. He's like, I love flipping a hetero. He's like, you know how hard that is? You know how hard it is to go out there every night, see a bunch of people you want to have sex with who don't want to have sex with you? I was like, that's exactly what it's like being a straight guy. What the hell are you talking about? I would argue it's just as hard for me to sleep with a woman as it is for you to flip a hetero. He was like, no. You got to take them out for hours, convince them. Yeah, same here. He's like, no, even if you do pull it off, which is like a miracle, they feel horrible after. Yeah, same thing. We went back and forth for hours, arguing about this all night, back and forth. Eventually, I woke up at his place.
Hello.
There we go. We got it happening. We did it.
Boom. Chasing you down for a week, man. How are you?
Good. I'm a busy douche. I'm driving from Oklahoma City to Dallas.
Ah, the rock star life, huh?
Yeah, got a rental car. I just ate at a restaurant, a barbecue restaurant, 10 miles from the Texas border. I've never felt more like a minority. It was wild.
I thought maybe you were going to say you had to shit your pants once already.
No, I was like, I want to get some real food. I saw a barbecue joint. It was a hole-in-the-wall shack. And I went, everybody's got cowboy boots, cowboy hat, you know, a pickup truck, a deer head on the wall. It was amazing. It was the best thing I ever did.
What are you doing? How long of a drive is that?
It's about 3 hours, but it's right through the heart of this goddamn country, baby.
Yeah,
and I am,
that's
I'm
American.
right through. It's America out here. Everybody's got a gun and a mistress and cattle. It's wild.
Were you tearing up Oklahoma City last night or what?
Oh yeah. Well, I did a theater there, and then we sold it out, and it was great. And then I've heard what's his name? Burt Kreischer was in town.
Uh-oh.
So I met up with him. We sat on his tour bus and fucked around. I got drunk. He's doing sober October, so we just had a good night.
Oh my gosh! So he just sat and watched you partake in all of his beverages, or what?
Yeah, he had a stogie, and we had some meat, and we talked. That guy can talk shit with the best of them. So we had a great hang.
The tour bus. How about that? Where's your tour bus? You're driving a rental car across the country.
I don't want a tour bus. I did a few tours in Vietnam, and I'm good. I don't need the bus. You can't shit on it. It's bumpy. You got to drive through the night. I like a hotel. I want to rub one out. You know, watch Netflix.
I heard Bert's new bus has a grinder on it, so you can shat on his new bus.
Oh, really? Well, he was on Grindr when I left him, so I don't know what's going on.
You missed a golden opportunity. How nice. That's killer.
Yeah.
Man. You are, hey, I should probably let everybody know we've got Mark Normand on the show today. He is, obviously, as he said, traveling across country, show to show, the lifestyle of a working comedian. Man, you're hotter than sliced bread right now. Is there any podcasts you haven't done or any shows?
Oh, I haven't done a few, and I'd like to do Theo Vaughn's. I'd like to do your mom's house. I'd like to do your mom.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. I'll get out there. I did like 17 in LA in like a 5-day span. So I'm wiped. I'm gay, and I need a tissue here because my asshole's leaking.
I saw you on Rogan, and 3 hours. Come on.
Yeah, it's 3 hours and 20, man. We really hit it off.
That's a marathon.
Really
Is that your first time on there?
First time, last time. No, first time. I really prepared. I really did the work. I wrote down every story in my life that's interesting. I had topic points I wanted to touch on. It was super cool, man. And I've done comedy for 12, 13 years. And I finally feel like I got a bump.
Yeah, I would imagine. That alone probably gave you a nice little shot in the arm. I saw that the guys I can't Jim and whoever were reviewing your morning TV in was it Cleveland? Jim and Sam?
Yeah, that was a nice blip as well. That one put me on the map.
So welcome here into the studio. It's good to have you here.
Hey, good to be here. It's a pleasure. I'm a little hungover, a little gay, but just glad to be here with you, sister.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I'm very happy to be here with you too.
All right. Yeah, I've been farting it up in the green room, and I think I scared.
That's why the door was shut.
Yeah.
To our little smaller green room.
Exactly.
You were just trying to be polite.
We call it hot boxing. Really soaking it all in, because the smell of your own farts for some reason is enjoyable. If you farted, it'd be weird. But if I fart, I enjoy it. I don't know why.
Is that a guy thing?
Maybe.
Because I feel like you would hear, no woman would ever say something like that.
Cleveland, as you do, comics have to do these dumb morning shows on KTLFM, Cleveland in the morning, whatever it is.
Right.
And you sit there with some attractive lady and try not to say the word cunt. And
do they give you a list before you go on? Here's what you can say and what you can't, or do they just expect that you know?
They expect you to know, and we know everything. But it's 8 a.m. You're hungover. It never sells tickets, so eventually you just kind of fly off the handle. And I just said queef and lost it, and black don't crack, and
how did that?
Couldn't help myself.
So how did that wrap up go when you're like, well, thanks for having me, and they're like, yeah, I don't plan on coming back. Did you leave it on a good foot after the black don't crack and the
Well, it was tense, but it was tense in there. But that lady, I forgot her name, Burbick or Natalie something. She was so cool. She got it. Like she's done Bobby Lee and Tom Segura and T.J. Miller. So like she gets it, and she wants the wackiness. But in the room, I didn't know that. I was just gonna fuck around. I'm so bored. I'm so miserable. I want to go home and sleep. So it just worked out that I didn't know she was that lady.
That's cool, though.
And the crew was laughing, and that kept me going.
Yeah, I'm sure. At 8 a.m, it's hard to turn it on. And I'm sure you turned some heads with that one and sold out those Cleveland shows.
We actually sold out that whole weekend after that, and the club was very happy. And it just shows, like, you gotta spice it up if you want anybody to give a fuck.
There you go. You got to do the grind. I like it. Well, I was looking, and you still got some shows available here in Minneapolis at the Acme Comedy Club coming in on a Wednesday, October 23rd.
Am I doing a Wednesday?
Yeah, they suckered you into a Wednesday.
Well, I like Minneapolis, and it's not too cold yet. It's a great club.
Well, that's what everybody says. Everybody loves Acme. I don't know that side of it. I know I've been to a ton of shows there. It's a great place. The parking out front sucks, but light rail but actually once during the day the park is difficult. When you're there, it's fair game, plenty of spots. But you're doing a Wednesday and all the way through. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Friday, and it looks like a couple of them are sold out. So people better jump on that rapidly, or they're going to miss out.
Are they sold out?
Looks like you are sold out the late show on Friday and the late show on Saturday.
Wow. I didn't like that.
You like that?
All right.
You got, what do you got, at 8 o'clock? On all the other nights are still available, so people need to get a hold of Acme. They got that restaurant there, too. Get some dinner, see a show.
Yes.
You're not driving up here, are you? Hell no.
Hell no. But I love that city. See, this is how comics are. We don't want to do a Sunday. I'll do a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, just so I don't do a Sunday. Nobody wants to work on Sunday. You want to get home.
What's that? The Lord's Day? You don't want to work on the Lord? What are you talking about? What's wrong with Sunday?
I'll tell you what it is. There's nothing wrong with Sunday, but when you get back to New York on a Monday afternoon, you just jumping right into a big pot of jizz. You're not going to get New York. You got to like ease in. It's like anal. Takes a minute. You don't want to just slam a dong right in your pooper. You want to give it a minute so you can wake up on Monday and go, all right, I'm back in the grind. You got to
close out that week. You got to close out the week before you start the new week. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's terrifying. It's like throwing you right into a rugby match in New York on Monday. You gotta stretch a little.
And then you get there and your bike doesn't start. What the hell's with that bike, man? That's
this thing. I'm learning. I'm learning how to prime it and choke it and queef on it. It's all topsy-turvy. It's a 1986.
What is it? It's the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a dirt bike and a moped. It's right in the middle.
It looks like a dirt bike and a moped had sex and ended up with a Mark Norman special.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dirt ped.
Here's the deal. I've got an actual scooter. And the difference between a scooter and a moped is a moped has pedals. But you have like fenders and like, do you have pedals?
Yeah. This bike's got some dong to it. You know, it's no queefy little Vespa. This thing is.
How fast does it go?
Zip. Probably about 60, 55,
Damn.
60 if I really crank it.
So do you have to have a motorcycle license?
Nah, that's the beauty of it. It's got pedals. I can put a helmet on, and I got to register it, which I still haven't done, and I got to buy a helmet. But
but you can go forever on a buck's worth of gas.
Oh, dude, 87 miles of the gallon on this thing. I filled it up the other day, and I flooded it.
Because you gave her a little much, huh?
I gave her a little too much dick. And now she's all filled up, and I got to let the lines bleed a little bit, and I'm learning about the lines and the cutoff valve. I want to be a car guy one day, but I figure I'll start with a moped engine, and it's small and easy, and I can see the whole thing, and I'll go from there.
It sounds like you got a lot of work ahead of you to get that mechanic deal out. Maybe leave that to the professionals, because that's...
Hey, if they can do it, we can do it.
There you go. I love it. I don't work on mine. I changed the battery. I've changed the battery, but that's it.
All right. That's something.
The rest is go. What are you going to do with it in the winter? Do you have a space or what?
That's a good question. I might just drive it real slow and just cruise around, because right now I'm whipping all over Broadway and Wall Street and Houston.
I don't think I'd drive a car in that town, and you're driving a bike with no helmet. That's big balls.
The car sucks. You got to park it. You got to put it in a garage. You got to have insurance.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm up on the sidewalk. I'm in the bike lane. I'm in a regular lane. I'm running red lights.
You do whatever the hell you want.
I parked this thing right outside the club. I throw a quick bike lock on it. Bing, bang, boom. So you got guys driving around for 20 minutes looking for a spot. Not me.
How are you? How did you come across this 1986? What is it? A Honda? What is it?
It's a Garelli. It's an Italian brand. It's very rare.
Very rare. Starting off with unique piece, a Garelli. I've never even heard of it.
No one has. It's a one and done kind of thing, but they're very sought after. That's why I bought it, because it was a little pricey, but I said, fuck it, it's a Garelli. I could probably sell this thing in 5 years for triple, but I had a wild hair in my ass, and I almost bought a car. Yeah. And my friend goes, don't buy a car. You can't afford it. The insurance will kill you. The parking alone will kill you. So I said, well, what's the next best thing? And I didn't want to be a Vespa guy, but I like a bike. So I said, fuck it, I'll get a moped. That's manageable.
Nice. And the Garelli just fell in your lap, or did you look for a Garelli?
No, it was Craigslist. I was combing through 100 different mopeds, and I saw this one, and it just... you throw the line out to a bunch of people. You go, hey, how much? Can I meet you? And that's the only guy who responded. So I ended up getting it.
Because nobody else would take the damn thing. Huh.
Yeah, I guess so.
A little one-off. I was just in Europe last month, and the scooters are the ticket, man. That's all you see over there.
I don't get it, because New York is a very European-style
Yeah.
city, and traffic's hell. You know, there's nowhere to park. Why wouldn't you go moped? I feel like I've cracked the code here. I beat the system with this thing. I think in 10 years, everyone's going to have a moped.
I don't want
Maybe
to
5
use.
years.
I don't want to use the term trendsetter, but hey, we might have a. You might have broken this thing wide open now. Scooter.
Woo!
It's going
I
to
love
change
it.
the world. I love it. I've never seen the Gorelli, but I do. You know what? I didn't even get through a tank of gas in mine this year. That's sad.
Wow.
Real sad. But I got
Where do you-
kids.
You live in Minneapolis?
No, I live in the burbs.
Oh, that's why. It's a city vehicle.
Well, I have a small town. I own an ice cream store, so I use it. That's my commuter. I commute to the
Wow.
office in it, but I always got to carry crap, and you got shit
Right.
everywhere, and it doesn't work. So I'm keeping it though. I'm never going to get rid of it. It's a toy that I haven't had to put any money into it other than a battery. So it's a treasure.
Exactly. There you go.
But yeah, in your neck of the woods, man, I love that idea. And last time I talked to you, you had just bought a house or a condo, right?
That's right. I bought my condo. I guess it's a 1-bedroom. What do you call it? Co-op.
What the hell's that? Okay. So it's not a condo. It's you all share.
Yeah, it's an apartment, and the goal is to maybe make some money and then buy another one.
Hell
And
yeah.
then buy another one. Then buy another one. And then before you know it, you own Harlem.
Before you know it, you're running for president. Isn't that how our fearless leader started?
I guess so, but he never had a Gorelli.
Well, and
He had a Russian.
and I think you got him beat on the hair too. You're off to a better start follically than Mr. Trump. But
I guess so.
that is impressive. Hey, you just recently did Fallon. Was that your first run on Fallon? Third? Well,
Third Fallon.
why were we out getting a suit that day? Was it the day of you're getting a suit?
I'll tell you what, because I knew I had Fallon.
Oh, while Mark goes out to put the antenna up on his walkie-talkie, let's drop in a little of his most recent Fallon set.
My cousin's a doctor. He thinks we should get rid of alcohol. Said it kills 2.5 million people every year, which is sad, but I mean, think about how many people it produces. It's got to be like 3 to 1, you know? If my parents didn't drink, I might not be here. I'm definitely going to name my kids after the substance that got them conceived. This is my daughter, Tequila. This is my son, Jaeger. What about the kid hugging your leg? That's Molly. Yeah, we were drinking that White Claw. Oh, you guys ever touched? Yeah, that stuff's, it's too much. So I like White Claw because it sounds like the new Marvel hero, White Claw, you know? Sounds like Wolverine's overprivileged nephew, you know? White Claw's superpower would be showing up to a wedding in flip-flops and driving his dad's boat while hitting a jewel. We don't know how to connect anymore, you know? My friend just got dumped, so I took him out, tried to wingman him, meet some ladies for him. Didn't go too well, you know? He got upset. He's like, screw this, let's go to a strip club. I don't get that logic. You know, to me, that's like going fishing, not catching anything, and being like, screw this, let's go to the aquarium. Same thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The only difference is no one leaves an aquarium going, I tell you, I think that flounder was into me. That's one hot piece of bass.
You were meeting with Seinfeld, and
Oh, yeah, so I'm doing some Seinfeld gigs. He makes you wear a suit. So I said, hey, let me buy a suit for Fallon and Seinfeld. 2 Jews with 1 suit.
bam! I love it.
Bam.
What are you doing with Seinfeld? You guys going on the road, or are you doing stuff in town?
I wish. We're just doing a theater in the city. So it's 4 shows. It's the most money I've ever made in my life. And I'm going to open for them at the Beacon Theater in November.
Oh my gosh, are you ready for that? How exciting! How does this happen now? I know I saw Jerry at the Mets game talking about how much he loved you, and then where does it go from there? How does it become now you're opening for Jerry?
Well, obviously, I'd like to be friends, and I wish he was my dad. But, yeah, I think he's just got his own life, and he's got his own millions. And he's, at that level, he's a local icon. He's a legend. So I think he's kind of weary about how much people talk to him for that. So he says, do you want to open? I say yes. We leave it at that. I talk to his manager. We settle out the details. And I'd love to get to know him more. I'd love to connect more. But, again, It's like trying to fuck a supermodel. You got to play it slow.
Nice. I like that idea. What does he drink? Does he go out? What does he do? It's like
I don't know. I guess he does the road. He goes out to dinner. He's a dad. He's got to hang out with his kids.
His kids are old though, aren't they?
I think they're in college, yeah. Or just started college.
Damn. You maybe if you show up with the adoption papers, he'll just do it. That'll be killer.
There you go.
There's a nice twist to the story. And then he adopted me.
Oh, it'd be nice.
So on your crazy mixed up tour that you're on here, what's been the highlight for you? Now, because you kind of you're just on a run, man. You're everywhere, which is awesome. But what's been the highlight? I'm sitting with Rogan for 3 hours. Got to be good. But what else? That's something's burning you did with Burt. I think I almost pissed my pants on that one.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was Burt. Burt knows what he's doing, man. That show is killing. He should have sold that to Netflix or something. The show is brilliant.
They who was that chick you were on there with?
That was Jessica Kierson. She's one of the best comics out there. I'm a big fan. When they said, "Who do you want to do it with?" I said her.
Really?
Yeah, she's so underrated. Bill Burr just gave her an hour special, so that's something at least.
Damn, I'd say. I've been chasing Bill for a while to get my podcast on his network. He's a tough nut to crack, that old boy.
Well, he's busy. He's a busy Irishman. He's got red pubes. He's he's got a kid now. He's got his own cartoon.
Yeah.
So he's a little swamped.
Yeah, no, he's crazy busy. I was just out with one of his co-stars on the old cartoon, and she's like, "Oh, you should look him up." So but I know he's crazy busy. It's not a big thing, but that something's burning. How does that come together? That's just, you got to pick who you got to be on there with, or what?
Yeah, everybody kind of paired off. That's why it's a lot of friends do it, because Burt wants that real interaction. Because he's such a genius guy with this marketing and planning and video stuff, because he rents an Airbnb in New York City, in Brooklyn. It's a beautiful home, brownstone, couple floors. It's full of comics hanging out, drinking, chatting. Then you got a film crew there. You got lights. You got cameras. There's sleep stairs. We all show up, and he just knocks out like 3 in a day, because they each take like an hour. So you knock out 3. You got Chris DiStefano in there. You got Bonnie McFarlane. You got Michelle Wolf. You got Bobby Kelly.
Man.
You got fucking Andrew Schultz just hanging out.
And are people hanging, or do they come and go? I mean, are you guys partying at night?
Not really. We're all doing shows at night, and we're partying at the clubs more. But it was just so cool to show up at this house in Brooklyn during the day, and there's 30 comedians hanging out, and you're like, why don't we do this all the time? But it took Burt's fat ass to get us get us to come together, because we're all so busy.
So did they? Is that all Burt? Is that Burt? I mean, he's coming up with all. I saw him yesterday. He's talking about a flip-flop company now because he can't get his Dylan number size 11s or whatever.
Oh, really?
But is that all him? Is he the business mastermind?
That's all him, man.
That's awesome.
Mastermind. That guy's he's a marketing whiz. He doesn't get his due for. I opened for him in Europe, and I learned more about social media and Instagram and marketing and clicks that I have in like 10 years of comedy.
Man, that's good. Yeah, we talked about that last time, how they dragged your ass out of bed to jump on a podcast, and you hopped right back into the old screwdrivers. Got to get right back on the horse.
I was hurting, man. It was in Dublin, Ireland, so we were trashed all night, and he fucking wakes me up at the crack of dawn. I'm like, what are you doing? But
champion.
If you got to play, you got to play, and I poured a few, and I was all right.
I like it. How is how's your podcast going? Tuesdays with Stories with Joe List. How's the
hey?
How did you and Joe List hook up?
It's actually going well now, thanks to Rogan. But it was, it's squeaking by for the past 5 years. But now I feel like we're finally getting some due. But I met Joe in New York. Obviously, I was always a fan of his. He was a little ahead of me, so I had to kind of like chum up to him. And we had the same manager at the time, and we were both doing a gig in Boston. So my manager said, hey, why don't you drive with Joe? He's driving. And I go, I don't know the guy really. And he goes, that'll be fine. So now you're stuck in a car together for 5 hours, and you can really, really learn a lot about each other. This is before everybody was staring at their phones a lot. So we just had to get to know each other, and it worked out.
Man, that's because you guys roll pretty well together. That's a good podcast. I've got it on my frequent flyer list. It's
Thanks.
It's an interesting hour. You guys usually do about an hour, don't you?
About an hour flat, and we do it once a week and talk about what the hell. Like, I'll talk about this drive from Oklahoma to Texas. I'll talk about this in there, and I just had lunch with a bunch of rednecks and all that. So, yeah, man, it's fun. And
is it on
we get some
YouTube
Real
now?
Tuesdays coming out. What's that?
Is it on Tuesdays? Is it on YouTube now? Do you video it?
We finally videoed it, and that's bringing it all back around. That's thanks to Burt going, hey, you fucking idiot, why don't you put the thing on YouTube? People want video. We said, all right, so we bought a camera, and now we do that.
Do you? So you're both in the same studio both in the studio when you're doing the podcast most of the time. Sometimes you're on the road. I've heard those.
And
you do it with one camera.
One camera, easy peasy, piece of shit camera. We give the whole thing to Shelby. He puts it up, chops it up.
Bing, bang, boom. That's awesome.
Bing, bang, boom.
Has it increased your numbers?
Finally, yeah. It's slowly getting there. We got some, I feel like we got, a real underground following. And by the underground always means not much. But we got our dedicated gays that come out and support, and there's a Patreon, they support that, so it's working.
That's awesome. That's
slowly
cool.
But surely.
So who's on the road with you, or are you just flying solo?
Just me. I got my fat friend Chris Allen. He's opening the shows. I got a few dudes I use kind of back and forth for different gigs, and he's one of my first openers. Cool guy, black guy, funny guy, DC. He's got a kid. He's out of the military, so try to throw him a bone. And he's a good comic, so he appreciates the work, and we get along.
That's awesome. Are you dragging him up here to Minneapolis?
No, I tried, but they said they'll use locals.
Oh, keep trying. Some of the
I will.
The locals are who?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's two comedy clubs in town, and Acme's definitely the better of the two, and they get the better local talent. But I don't know.
That's almost one of the setbacks of having a great club is the comics get spoiled and they're not as good as they could be. Whereas if you have a shit room or a bunch of bar shows, the comics have to learn how to be real bare knuckle boxers because they got to bring the heat.
Yeah. I have you done that? What is it on State in Madison or whatever it is?
I did 2 albums there. Oh, I love that room.
That is a great little. That's where I saw Burt last.
Wow.
What a great club. That is perfect. Perfect setting right there.
Yeah, beautiful. Every comic loves that room. I mean, Michelle Wolf is doing theaters, but she'll still pull back to do Madison.
Really? What makes it so great for you guys?
Well, it's the little things. First of all, it's run by these 2 Greek chicks, and they're fucking great. They're killer. They love comedy. They respect comedy. They treat the artists so well. They put you up, and the green room's insane, and they're just all about the experience for the comic has to be great. These people are coming out to fucking Wisconsin. We got to make it great. The crowds are good. The crowds get it. There's no heckling. There's no cunts doing shots and yelling out, and if someone yells out, they just throw them out immediately. This is a comedy show. This isn't a fucking bar where you get crazy and put a dick on your head.
It's a smaller venue, but it's very intimate setting. It was great. I was actually right up on the stage with old Bertrude, and had a great time. I do like Acme though. I mean, I've actually been around. I do Illinois, or go down to Chicago and through Wisconsin and here in Minneapolis, and I've seen a lot of shows. And Acme's definitely one of the better ones on the circuit.
Oh yeah.
This general area, and everybody loves it here too. I mean,
everybody loves it. Top
which is
5.
good.
Top 5.
So, how long's your stretch in the big, the Longhorn State there?
Unfortunately, I'm here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, I guess that makes it 3 nights.
Are you doing a Sunday?
Sunday
We
sucks.
just talked about Sundays.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take the hit.
That's isn't that Joey Diaz's thing? No Sundays, cocksucker. He doesn't do Sundays.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Every
funny as
comic
hell.
is in agreement on this.
So when's the next special coming out?
You tell me. I can't get one.
Why not?
I don't know. I got to get into a wheelchair or cut my dick off or something. That's, I'm a dime a dozen straight white honky.
Oh, you know what? I was just at a conference with a bunch of voice actors, and the one main gal said, "You know what your problem is? You're a middle-aged white male. You're not going to work in this business." I'm like, "Oh,
nobody wants us.
Come on." That's horrible.
But here's the thing. Look who's killing it on the road. It's like Rogan, Sebastian, Segura, Burt, Bill Burr. I mean, people want it. It's just the dumb, kooky industry. They're trying to look cool and progressive, and they're not even progressive. You go into a boardroom, it's just a bunch of white guys in suits with short haircuts. But then they want to project that they're cool and they're with it, so they hire a bunch of diverse people. And I'm all about diversity, but it's like, hey, don't yell at us about diversity and ruin our show because you guys aren't even diverse. How about you diversify CAA?
Well, and do you think it's coming to a head? Do you think we're gonna come to that point where we realize that we aren't the bad guys? I mean, there's bad people out there, but we're
It's all a fad. I mean, look, you got to go where the money is eventually. Green is the number one color. So, like, these people, they want to look cool and pat themselves on the back, but you got to pay the bills.
I'm not good with the small talk. Two things I can't do. Small talk and eye contact. How sad is that, I basically have all the traits of a serial killer, just without the ambition. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it. People always say to me, Mark, got to be more confident. Then they say, Mark, got to be yourself. I'm like, well, you got to pick one.
Yeah, I don't know. We were just recording a show this morning, and we had a segment on about this Cortez gal. And somebody stood up.
Who's this?
What is her? Ocasio-Cortez.
Right.
And she had she had somebody stand up at one of her rallies and talk about the only option being we have to start eating babies. Like, like, come
why?
on.
What's the reasoning?
We're overpopulated, baby. We got to thin the herd somehow. Yeah, it's definitely gone off the deep end, but we got to be coming to the end where we start to realize that it's not all about color and where you come from and what sex you are. It's funny's funny. It doesn't matter. And singling us out for being middle-aged white dudes isn't going to work for very long.
I think in 10 years we'll look back and go, wow, that was crazy. Remember that? That was like somebody's going to get sued at some point, and it's just going to. I don't get it because like all these ladies will be like these single or these straight white men. You're like, what about your dad? What about your brother? What about your husband? Like, they're the thing you're complaining about. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Also, why are you judging someone based on their race, gender, and sexual orientation? I don't know. I mean, we can do this all day.
Yeah. No politics. Nish. But we're just going to stick to the comedy. You're coming to Acme, October 23rd through the 26th. Still shows available. A couple of them are sold out. You got shows every day, but some of them are sold out, so people need to get on the stick. They're going to go like wildfire now. Are you going to be doing some local terrestrial radio when you get here? You're going to have to get out of bed and do the morning shows?
I hope not. I hate the morning shows just because it's the same shit. And I think people hear this and stuff like this more than they'll actually hear the drive time bullshit. Everybody's got Sirius. Everybody's got podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, also, if you hear me in the morning, you're up at like 7 a.m. I don't feel like you're going to make it till 10 to come to a show and listen to me talk about Uber.
That's so true. I'm looking myself right now for an 8 o'clock show because there's no way I could stay up till 10:30. Who are we kidding? That's
exactly.
That's for these youngsters that can make it till midnight. What do you do? What do you do? An hour and a half?
About an hour, yeah. But there's an opener, there's a host, so the whole thing runs about an hour and a half, an hour and 40. But yeah, it's a long show. And what should I do in Minneapolis? What do you think's going on down there? What's the hot spot? I know I got to get that burger. I got the burger.
The burger? What's the Juicy Lucy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a keeper. When are you coming in? Are you coming in on Wednesday? Coming in a day early, or do you come in?
Oh no, God no.
God no. Well, yeah, then you got to get the burger. There's some good shit downtown. You want to look for a red cow or a red rabbit. Those are good.
What's that?
Those are burger joints.
All right.
But if you want to get out, and see the city a little, I don't know. Your weather's going to be touchy. We're talking 48 today. That's chilly.
What?
Yeah.
You're 48 already?
Yeah. I got.
Holy shit.
I got to go watch a kid chase a soccer ball around this afternoon. I'm going to freeze my ass off.
Wow. I can't believe it's that cold already.
Yeah. Well, and there's some 60s on the radar next week. So, but it's so cliche, but our worst snowstorm we've ever had was on October 31st. And
holy shit, Halloween.
We could get dumped on. You're not that far from Halloween. You better bring your boots.
Yeah.
They actually, you know what you should do I suppose you could do that anywhere, but those scooter things have just taken off here in Minneapolis. But
really? What's that about?
You know the little scooters, like you could do. Austin has them. I'm sure New York has them. Yeah, the Bird.
Yeah. Everybody's got the Bird.
I was just tearing it up in Scottsdale, and they got them everywhere. But it's warm there. I don't know if you want to do it here when it's 14 degrees. What a bunch of bullshit. I think you need to spike the tires on that Gorelli and ride that thing all year.
I think I'm going to that's a good idea.
You could have 2 sets of tires. You could have your winter set and your summer set. And it would be cheaper than finding a place to store the thing. Hell yeah.
Here. Well said.
That's awesome. Well, let's wrap this thing up, man. I will put another little plug here on the end for you. And hopefully we'll see you when you get here in October. If I come across something hot, I'll text it over to you so you know you can hit all the hot spots before you get out of town early Saturday morning. What do you leave, Sunday morning or after the show Saturday?
Sunday morning.
Attaboy. Get home, get it started. So that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Mark, we can't thank you enough for the time. We will we'll circle back around and we'll all come out and see you on late October at Acme Comedy Club.
All right, thanks.
Take care, man.
God
Drive careful.
You. All right, go Twins.
Yeah.
Praise Allah.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye now. That's it. That's the end.
That's a wrap.
Read the shtick.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends. If you'd like to reach out, you can use the studio line at 612-504-6500 or by email, thedkprojectpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, there's always social media at the DK Project Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.